Throughout the course, we've talked about the importance of being able to clearly recognize when a problem has occurred. We can do this by using the 4 rules in use by making sure that all work is highly specified in terms of content, sequence, and timing, and outcome. In their Harvard Business Review article, Spear and Bowen also note that these connections must be direct, binary, and self-diagnostic, which boils down to being able to immediately see if something is wrong with a product, material, or information that was passed to you. And if that happens, you immediately know who to contact to address the situation and test countermeasures to ensure it doesn't happen again. In addition to creating these self-diagnostic systems, the concept of the and-on cord allows frontline workers sufficient autonomy to stop the entire production line if a defect is spotted, which also notifies the leader who will go see the issue and work to support the frontline team as they investigate the root cause and restart production. This is paramount, as it places more importance on developing problem-solving capabilities in the team than it does on immediate speed or productivity. This is long-term thinking for the development of socio-technical systems. It's the heart of Lean and a key differentiator. All of these concepts fall under the umbrella of what is called Jidoka. Jidoka has been defined by Toyota as automation with a human mind, and implies intelligent workers and machines identifying errors and testing quick countermeasures in a rigorous and disciplined way. The essence of the and-on cord and overarching concept of Jidoka is to stop something wrong from escalating as quickly as possible, and along the way, we'll develop the autonomy and critical thinking capabilities of our people. As a customer-obsessed organization, Amazon has leveraged this thinking as well. When an Amazon customer service representative receives a call from a customer regarding a problem with a product, they immediately go into the system to investigate whether this specific problem with a product or seller has occurred in the past. If it's a recurring issue, the customer service representative can pull the cord when they suspect a problem with their inventory or with a seller to pause further sales. Then, Amazon actually removes the product from the website as they work to understand and address the underlying cause. These and-on cord pulls are rare, but Amazon has said that the practice has drastically reduced returns and support requests. Jidoka is all about making defect-free processes by continually strengthening process capability, containment, so allowing defects to be quickly identified and contained, and feedback, so quick countermeasures can be tested. Consider your processes within your organization. How often are you passed a work product that doesn't meet your expectations? Before jumping all over the person that sent that less than stellar work product to you, consider this. Were your expectations clearly defined? Do you have direct binary supplier-customer connections that enable you to go back to the person that sent that work product to problem solve? And finally, does the equivalent of an and-on exist? In most cases, the answers to these questions are no. You can have extremely talented people working for your organization, but they are only ever going to produce output that's as good as the system. Or, as Deming put it, put a good person in a bad system and the system will win every time. Jidoka essentially means building quality at the source and comprises 3 tenets. 1, don't accept defects. 2, don't make them. And 3, don't pass them on. Quality at the source is a principle that defines quality output as being something that isn't just measured at the end of a production line, but at every single step of the process, and the responsibility of each individual who contributes to the delivery of a product or service. Why embed quality checks in the production line if each step in the process has an opportunity and obligation to check quality? It completely flips how we think about quality assurance as being a separate team that checks on quality to a quality notion that is the responsibility of everyone involved, is rigorous and unambiguous. These are the kinds of systems and the type of thinking that will enable us to move toward zero defects. Approaches like standardized work, visual management, and 5S are all great ways to improve human reliability and to help us quickly determine if a work product doesn't meet expectations. These shouldn't be judgment calls. They should be easy to identify. Another method or concept that can help us as we think about creating these is something called Poka Yoke. Poka means inadvertent error, and Yoke means prevention. Together, Poka Yoke means implementing simple, low-cost devices that either detect abnormal situations before they occur, or once they occur, stop the line to prevent defects. Remember back to our conversation on the history of operational excellence and how Sakichi Toyoda essentially founded the company on this principle by identifying the waste and frustration caused when a thread would break on the loom. His patent for the automatic loom created a mechanism that would detect when the tension on the thread dropped, and this would automatically stop the machine to allow the worker to quickly correct the issue and avoid having to rethread the loom from scratch. This is automation, or automation with a human touch. It's a brilliant way to leverage technical solutions with team members that can problem solve and easily address the situation when needed. And it frees the team members up to do higher level work, rather than just sitting at the machine waiting to watch for the thread to break. Poka Yokes reduce a worker's physical and mental burden by eliminating the need to constantly check for the common errors that lead to defects. We can see examples of great Poka Yokes all around us, although many examples are so mundane we don't often realize they're there. A classic is the 3-pin plug or USB devices, so that they can only be inserted into the outlet in one orientation. Or the overflow hole in a sink or bathtub to prevent water from overflowing if the drain is blocked. There are also safety mechanisms like the control on lawnmowers, in which weight must be sensed on the seat in order for the blades to move. But what about these options? My parents had a tennis ball hanging in the garage for years. It did help them to properly place the vehicle, but it did not prevent them, or me, from going too far and hitting the patio furniture stored at the back wall. Or the sign here that reads, "If you hit this sign, you will hit that bridge." Depending on your speed and mental state, a truck driver could certainly clip that sign and keep driving right into the bridge. There are several levels of Poka Yoke or mistake proofing. The lowest level, level 4, relates to singular process improvements like checklists, visual aids, or buddy inspection. These can absolutely be helpful, but they won't make it impossible for you to make a mistake. And humans are pretty error-prone creatures. It's a start, but there's more. We can look to create systems that immediately detect a defect, or level 3 mistake proofing. Quick point of clarification between a defect and an error. Very simply, an error is the cause, while a defect is the effect. And a defect refers more specifically to a deviation from a standard. We can detect the defect by using simple go-no-go gauges, which can range from something pretty simple, as we see on the left-hand side here, or gauges that are designed to have very tight tolerances. Better yet, we can strive for a level 2 mistake-proofing design that detects the error. There are some pretty sophisticated sensors now that can detect all sorts of errors. For example, a sensor can count the number of spot welds made on a workpiece, and the clamps will not release until the correct number has been made. A super simple example of this is the use of a required field when filling out a form. Last, but certainly not least, is a level 1 Poka Yoke, which eliminates the error altogether. This is a form of total prevention where a defect cannot be made. This is why the concept of the automatic loom had such a huge impact on the thinking of Toyota throughout the years. It not only provided the funding to start the Toyota Motor Corporation, but it set the stage for thinking critically about error elimination at every step. Combined with equipping team members who have the authority, responsibility, and problem-solving capacity, and you have the critical pillar of Jidoka, which enables delivering products and services with the highest quality, lowest cost, and shortest lead time. Consider the impact true Jidoka can have on healthcare, financial services, education, and government. Preventable medical errors are a leading cause of death in the U.S. We've got a lot of work to do across industries, and I encourage you to think deeply about how the concepts of Jidoka as a socio-technical construct apply to your work and how you can practice, coach, and support others to understand the importance of creating systems that are capable of ensuring quality at the source.